Dear prospective students, my name is Antoine de Spiegele, and it is my great pleasure to walk you through these slides concerning the double degree KU Leuven-Zürich Master of Law program. I'm a recent alum from the program. I enjoyed it tremendously, and I hope to give you a quick overview of the contents, the specificities, and the advantages of this very peculiar Master of Law. First, we'll start with some general pieces of information about the double degree Master of Law program. So it is an academic initial master's program, so for bachelor students. It is taught in English with the possibility for a couple of courses in German in Zurich. I'll come back to this. The duration is 2 years, full-time, daytime education, 1 year in Belgium, in Leuven, and 1 year in Zurich in Switzerland. As for the academic calendar, as you can read on the slide, the first semester begins around mid-September until the end of January, and the second semester begins around mid-February until the end of June or mid-July, depending on the university. Exams happen mostly at the end of the semester, and you also potentially have to write papers during the semester. Additionally, it's worth pointing out that the cohort of students is limited in size, around 15 students for each university, which means that you will get to know and become friends with your fellow students more easily than in a bigger program. It's also a very diverse cohort of students. In my year, for example, we had, of course, students from Belgium, but also from abroad. We had people coming from Brazil, Russia, Romania, Greece, Germany, you name it. So this leads, of course, to a very rich exchange of experience with your fellow students. Why should you choose to attend the Master of Law double degree KU Leuven-Zurich? Well, this is, of course, the most important question you should ask yourself, and there are various reasons why I think it is a great choice. And here on the slides, you can see four main advantages for choosing this master. So first, of course, you get the best of both universities. They are very different with a different focus, different expertise. I'll come back to this. And this is much more than just an Erasmus exchange. You'll be a full-time normal student at both institutions. You get 2 full degrees. Second, of course, the languages. The program is taught in English, but you have also the possibility to take German-speaking classes in Zurich if you have a C1 level in the language. And in addition, I should point out that it's very easy to take language classes at university language centers, both in Leuven and in Zurich, which I highly recommend. Personally, for example, alongside fellow students, I learned German during my year in Leuven before moving to Zurich, and in Zurich I continued learning German and I also started learning Spanish. Third, you get 2 degrees, which is of course not negligible as an advantage. This is more than just an Erasmus exchange, as I just said. You go home with 2 Master of Law degrees. And fourth, and this is related to the third point, you have the possibility at the end of the 2 years to get admitted to the Belgian or the Swiss bar, or both if you're extremely motivated, of course. However, you should note that additional requirements apply in Belgium. You need to have a Bachelor of Law degree from a Belgian institutions, and in Zurich you need to complete 1 year of practical training in German and pass the bar exam in German. So realistically speaking, admission to the bar is less of an option for non-Swiss or Belgian students. Besides these 4 points, I believe reasons for choosing the double degree also relate to what kind of lawyer you aspire to be. I personally chose to go for it because I wanted to study in a fully international environment, broaden my horizons and distance myself also from the traditional path of legal studies in my home country, Belgium. On this slide, you get some information about the admission requirements and tuition fees. So you need a bachelor degree in law to be admitted. You need sound academic results, and you need to submit a statement of purpose in which you describe your objectives in the field of legal studies and research and your career goals. You will also have to submit, like for any other English taught program, generally a proof of your English proficiency. As you can see, different tests are allowed. And finally, you have here an overview of tuition fees at the KU Leuven. Please note that for non-European Economic Area citizens, the fee is much higher than for European Economic Area citizens. This slide and the next, I touch again on this notion of 2 universities, each with its own expertise. So first looking at KU Leuven and Leuven in general. Leuven is at the heart of Europe. It's a 20 minutes train ride from the city center of Brussels. It's a lovely city, and Leuven as a university, and in particular for your master degree, is really specialized in European law and international law. You will get, as I will show a little bit later, a great variety of courses in these areas. Moving to Zurich, looking at the expertise of the University of Zurich. Well, first of all, Zurich is a beautiful city, as is the entire country of Switzerland. And the University of Zurich is particularly specialized in financial law, business law, arbitration. Zurich as a city, of course, is a banking and financial hub in continental Europe and the world. And Switzerland in general hosts many international institutions, international organizations in Geneva as well, for example. Being a bit more technical about it, but summarizing what I just said, you can see on this slide a summary of both programs. First, at the KU Leuven, you will have a couple of compulsory courses, mostly about European law, European public law, and then the possibility to choose from a very extensive list of electives. You will also write a practical clinic, that is to say, a small practical paper on a given European law or international law topic under the supervision of a teaching assistant. Personally, for example, I wrote a draft judgment of the ICJ in a case involving the United States and Iran. In Zurich, you have only one compulsory class, Introduction to Swiss Law, which I highly recommend, and then the choice among a variety of courses as well as your master's dissertation. The topic of your master's dissertation is absolutely free to be decided by you and the professor you choose. More generally, so both in Leuven and Zurich, you're more or less free to give to your program the flavor you choose. Some of us during my studies specialize in financial, banking, arbitration law. Others chose more classes on public international law or legal theory. There isn't a single way to go about this, which is again another strength of the program. Finally, to conclude this presentation, I wanted to touch upon the career benefits of this double degree program. Naturally, all programs at the KU Leuven open the way for a fulfilling career, but it is undeniable that the specificities of this double degree make for exciting career opportunities. We listed here a number of factors, including the strong international experience you will have gained, the improvement of your linguistic skills, the extension of your network, the fact that you will receive 2 full degrees. I personally know alums from this program who work in international law firms, in the public sector, including diplomacy, in academia, in the associative sector as well. So it should also be noted for those of you who envisage pursuing a specialization master after your studies, the so-called LLM, that is also completely compatible with this double degree. Something that I know from my own experience and the experience of other alums as well. All right, so that is everything I wish to say about these slides. Hopefully you have now a better understanding of the content and the peculiarities of the program and are all the more excited to apply. In recent months, we have been trying to better organize a network of alumni, which you can reach out to via the Faculty of Law at KU Leuven should you have extra questions. You can also check out the Belgian Association for Students in Switzerland, many members of which have attended or currently attend the double degree program for further guidance. And above all, I wish you the best and stay safe.